Hello everybody and welcome to Simcade. We are live, back for Season 8, and this season a bit of a catch. Obviously we're doing the 3 tracks, and this week's track has been chosen, and it's Qatar. I'm joined by the one and only, the GOAT of Simcade, the god of us all. It's back with us, it's Dodo. How are you?
I'm brilliant. All the better after that intro. That was very flattering. I
was trying to think of a few more things, but I thought if I drag this out, people will get bored and probably leave. So I wanted to keep it snappy and interesting.
I wouldn't say the god of or the goat of Simcade. I mean, you got to remember there are people with more titles than me, so
I probably would
push it. But yeah, it's great to be back. I've missed this. So Qatar's a brilliant track to make a return and hopefully get a good race.
Yeah, I mean, the guys have chosen it, so they've got no excuses. They had a choice between this, Bahrain, and China. Hello Santeria and hello V2. So they had the choice, and they chose. The people have spoken, and this is what they chose. So yeah, I mean, I personally haven't done a lot of practice around here, but that's because, like we were just talking before, I spend £60 to talk about people driving. I don't really spend £60 driving it, which is a shame. But yeah, there it is.
Well, I've done some laps around this track on the game, and I can tell you it's like a roller coaster. It's great, really fast, really committed. And the track limits are going to be crucial as well because it's so easy to extend in some places. So we'll have to see who manages that the best.
Yeah, some of the guys have been saying when they've been practicing that they've been struggling with the track limits. That it is it's not dodgy, but you can go wide, and it doesn't like it. The game is very strict. Obviously, we know that. So they are going to get caught out pretty quick if they're not careful, and these penalties will rack up. If they're not careful. Yuki, we'll get to your question in a second about PSGL because we do have lots of questions for Dodo about this because he's kind of celebrity around here. So yes, we will get to that. Finexi, you didn't vote. It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. You can vote next week. Polls open for the votes on Twitter and is it X now, whatever it is. And on Discord tomorrow, 5 PM UK time. So you plenty of time until Sunday. So I suspect we'll just run through the grid before they start off. We were just about to kick off. You've spotted a few new drivers. What are you expecting?
Well, I'm expecting the usual lot. Cornish, Rosa, Winther. I know is fast. Giordino. And Extinct, of course, the usual suspects. But I'd love to see, a couple of people who I've seen improving a lot on this game, like Golf and Lance. I think they've got a good chance. And this is the kind of track where if you're just consistently within the track limits, and you're on the right kind of pace, and you stay penaltyless, you're going to be in a really good place, especially if there's a late safety car.
Yeah, that's probably going to be the key to this, isn't it? Is keep them penalties low and make sure. But we had in last week's, in the race that I commentated last week, we had a couple of issues on track. It was at Vegas, and they were just waiting on a safety car that just didn't happen, and it really, really screwed over the people that were waiting for it. And it's something that you've got to be on the ball with, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, a track like this, the pit lane's quite long, so you will gain quite a bit from pitting under the safety car, but also, especially a late safety car, like we said about the track limits, I wouldn't be surprised to see quite a lot of positions at the end of the race decided by penalties and who's kept it clean and who's been a little bit more slack about the limits.
Yeah, apologies to my screen. I switched screens, so the capture card didn't pick it up, so apologies. Turn it back on now. So just a couple of people in chat. So, Finexis already voted for China. That's just one of those. That's unfortunate that the people have spoken. We did have quite a lot of people on X vote, which is nice. Actually, I think we had more votes on there than we did in Discord, which is weird. Since there's more people in Discord. But anyway, Harrison's getting some abuse already, so hello Harrison. Harry for the win, apparently, is what we're after.
Harry for the win. Well, let's see.
So that's one to look out for. It's Harry for the win. So we've got some new people in. We've got some old people in. Now I have heard, this is some insider knowledge, Cornish is on pad. He's not on wheel.
Oh, he's gone back, has he?
No, he's got an issue with his back. He's struggling with his back momentarily. So he has gone back to pad just today, because he wants to be the man here. So this is what he's done. He's made himself available.
That does make sense. Even if he was on pad, it's good to see him on the grid. He's one of the all-time veterans of Simcade, so it'd be weird to see him not here.
Yeah, it's 2 or 3 times champion, I believe. Yeah. Remember rightly? Yeah. Until you stepped in?
School champion, yeah. Until I took his crown.
Yeah. And so we got some new drivers. Yeah, Melee is new. Finexi new. Obviously, I know these as well. Harrison as well is also new. So we've got three new drivers, and then the rest are the usual retrobates. To be fair, Extinct from last week's pre-season testing looks absolutely impeccable. It looks impressive, to be fair, which is good to see. Because I think he would like a good result after what was not a disappointing season last season, but I think a season where he wanted more.
Extinct's been improving over the course of 3 or 4 seasons, I think now. So I think it's only right that he's eyeing that title, because he is a class driver in every respect. He's got everything: pace, consistency, and a level head. He can deal with pressure. So yeah, I expect him to be a strong title challenge.
Yeah, I think he struggled with. Well, last season we went down to a triple tie points, and unfortunately he lost out because he didn't have any wins. He had all them P3s and was consistently here every single race apart from one. If he'd have made that one race, he probably would have won the championship. But it just fell. The tightest season that we've had, and in fact it's probably the tightest season in the history of F1. So having 3 people tied, it's probably not been heard of much, is it?
No, certainly not. Especially last couple of seasons, I think we've usually had the title decided before the last round. So it was really nice to have more people going for the title into the final round. Hopefully we have the same this season, because it'd be really exciting to have that again.
Yeah, and it's nice that we've picked back up the numbers. I think we didn't have a bit of a drought, but I think we had a bit of where people had enough, and I think we've come back, and we've found a new people, a bit of breath of fresh air, and looking a bit stronger, which is good.
100%. And new faces just means new challenge, doesn't it? One of these new faces could be mounting a title challenge, so we'll have to wait and see. That's why the first round's always so exciting, because you just never know.
Well, I will say you will need to keep a watch out for Finexi, because he will be the man to watch out for, from my knowledge. Harrison is probably another one that's going to be up there in Melee. The 3 new drivers that have been added into the league are definitely 3 people to look out for. That is my knowledge that I will give you there. And then obviously, like you were saying before, you've got usual suspects: Gordinio, V2, and Cornish, both Cornishes. Actually, since Cornish Mantis got his new internet, which is strange, he seems to have picked up the performances as well.
Well, it's probably just the fact that everyone isn't lagging around him, so he's just got more confidence to race people, I guess. That's the only thing I can think of. But having bad internet is always going to hinder you, so maybe it has made a difference.
It is, definitely, yeah. It looks like the likes of the people that haven't set times are trying to save a set of softs for the race, because now that we've got this 35% race distance, usually it's a soft medium race.
It could be.
Which is quite interesting to see the people that are only going to do 2 runs. Yuki saying that Finexi would have to prove himself. Well, I think everybody has to prove themselves, and he's just left the session. I don't know if somebody in the game, usually Simi, will probably pick that up and get it back in. Everybody has to prove themselves. That's what we do the first race season for. Like you were saying, Dottie, you've got to, get that foot in the door, ain't you?
Yeah, you got to put a marker down. You got to show everyone what you're made of, and or I don't want to say get in people's heads, but you want to show people that you're the real deal in the first round.
Yep.
And set your stall up for the rest of the season. So he'll be wanting to do as well as he can, as he would in every race, obviously. But first round of the season's almost more important.
Yeah, Finexi decided not to prove himself and left. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the one. So now that you are you're on a bit of a break, PSGL, talk me through it. How has it been?
It's been amazing. I mean, the people I've been racing against have been, they're incredible, they're really fast, and I've learnt a lot, not just about how to drive pace-wise, but just how to manage a race. And I think I've got much better as a driver because of it. And just racing against people who you can tell have been doing it for years has been a massive privilege. So yeah, I've enjoyed all of it the whole season, and I just hope I get to do it again next season.
And obviously, we were just talking prior to starting. You think that you'll start in the F11 again, which is people sort of around you. But you finished 7th overall, missed a couple of races due to life. I'm guessing that you, like you said, you found the consistency and you found that your race management's better. Would you, if you did come back to Simcade, not that you would because you're far too busy for us, but all that you've learned, where would that put you now? If you were ahead of everybody before, I'm guessing that's going to be way above the rest. I'm not trying to take the mick out of the people that we do have, but it's a lot of skill, isn't it, that you've learned and taken on board?
I don't think so, because I think for one, the skill gap in this game is a lot less than it was in 22 when I did the season at Simcade. So I think my actual pace gap to the rest of the field would be quite a bit smaller. Not to mention the actual strength of the field in Simcade is now a lot higher. But I haven't made massive step forwards in terms of pace. My main step forward has been in terms of consistency and managing tyres and ERS. The little gains that you get, you have in a race. So I don't think I'd be running away with it. I'd like to think I'd win because you always want to think that you're the best, right? But I think I'd still be I still think everyone would be quite close.
So you were saying there about like ERS management and race management. Is this now starting to like border on professional racing driver talk? When they are using their ERS in certain ways, the places of the track in certain manners to attack and defend. Is that what you're meaning?
Yeah, ERS in this game is hugely important. Has been for a few games, and if you can find a way to manage it, not overly abuse it, you'll be at a really good place. Using a lower downforce setup, trying to get away with using less wing, more straight line means you use less and recover more of the energy, and that puts you in a really good place. A couple of my podiums were because I gambled on a low downforce setup and I made it work. So you've really got to consider all possibilities in this game, and ERS is hugely important.
Definitely, I have to agree. I've only had a couple of races, but I have to agree. Finexi has got disconnected and can't rejoin, which is a bit of a shame. And just one more last question from me and then we'll nip this in the bud because you'll probably be sick of talking about it. Have we had the chance to speak to any big leagues like Jarno or any others that are in the league?
No.
No?
The closest I've got is I was doing iRacing like a month ago, and I had Romain Grosjean in the lobby. But yeah, no, I'm 10 leagues off the likes of Jarno, and still a second off the F1 esports guys. So I don't expect to be in with that lot. I just enjoy competing against people on my level and trying to improve myself rather than aiming to get up to that kind of level. So
Romain Grosjean, how did that one come about? Was that just a fluke?
Yeah, it was just I was doing some of the endurance racing, and he happened to be in the same lobby. I'm top split, and he was also top split, and yeah, I almost took him out actually, which is quite funny. But
less of that. Well, that's all I can say is from me seeing you come through where you came through, and obviously I didn't know you prior to Simcade much. Yeah. But super proud of you. I think it's brilliant that we can actually have got a slight claim to fame at Simcade. So I hope you continue.
Thank you very much. Simcade was a massive stepping stone for me. It was my first proper competitive league back in the racing games for about 3 years. So it was a massive thing for me to regain that passion. So I'll always be a part of the Simcade family, and I'll always only have good things to say about this whole league.
We do try. That's all we try, and we try to bring the fun back into racing whilst trying to keep it semi-serious. With the old mental health, which we still are pushing for.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to some racing. Should we? We've got 7 minutes left of qualifying.
We have.
I did say the usual suspects would be out and strong, but the gap is very, very close, especially from second all the way down to 7th. It's close, and even past that, it's very close.
Yeah, I'll be expecting a better lap from Winther and from Rosa, because obviously Rosa hasn't even set a time yet. But the rest of the grid looks about right.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking before about this track being, you're saying technically it flows, it's fast, you have to be committers, and the runoffs are long and lethal with the track limits. What is an optimal lap around here? Are we looking where Gordinho is slightly better? Are we looking? Can we bridge the 120s?
I think if I was racing now, I'd want to be hitting the mid 120s. If I hooked a lap in, maybe high 120s. So yeah, Gordino's almost there, I'd say. I reckon he's got another couple of tenths in him yet. I mean, he's only done 1 lap, so I will fully expect him to get into the 120s.
Yeah, that's probably where we're looking. I'm just on board with Winther at the moment, who is on a lap coming round in the last sector now. I think he's just crossing the line. I don't know if he's going to improve. Oh, had a bit of a wiggle and
come in. Yeah, he invalidated.
Yeah, come in. I don't know what that wiggle was all about. I've just got a question to answer. 1 second. Anyway, back to it. So we're looking at the improvements that that everybody's made. V2 has obviously made a massive step up. Lance as well. I think people are starting to get a bit more, a lot more league racing outside of Simcade, and a lot more, because I think people like Golf and Lance were doing a lot of practice, but not a lot of league racing, and there's a difference between it. You can smash TT all you like, but getting yourself in a race is what you need to be doing, right?
Absolutely, and the best thing to do is race against people better than you, because then you've got a yardstick to work towards, and that's exactly what PSGL has been for me, and what I'm sure a lot of these leagues have been for the likes of Lance and Golf. So yeah, that is the best way to improve, 100%. Do more leagues, do more races, and preferably leagues that are slightly above your skill level to bring you up to that level.
Yeah, definitely. Couldn't have said it better, actually. I think that's it's one way of putting it. That you have to improve, you have to be around people that are better than you to improve, because otherwise you'll just be a bit of a stalemate if you're wiping the floor with people.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Cornish up in P4, that's not a bad lap. He'd be looking to improve, but apparently, again, some more inside knowledge. I don't know why I know so much about Cornish. It's like he lives next door to me. Apparently he's been off the pad for about 4 months now, and has really struggled when going back to pad with his consistency and his track awareness and track flow, because with wheel you have a lot more movement, don't you? You have a lot more feel of the car, and you can use all of the track and you can feel it, where when you're on pad you've got a limited range of movement. So I think he's really struggling to get that back.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I've never been a fan of pad at a competitive level anyway. Yeah, you just don't have the precision that you have with the wheel, so I'm not surprised. Because he was really good on pad before, but now he's had a taste of wheel. I'm not surprised he's struggling with pad now, going back to it, to be honest. Yeah,
definitely. And I think he'd be one to look out for on wheel, definitely. If he's as good on pad as he is on wheel, then yeah, man's going to be lethal. And we have a new fastest lap with Gordinho there, just touching the 121.051. That's close to the 120s.
It is. It's a good lap, that. 5 tenths faster than the nearest driver, so he's got a nice gap there to the rest of the field. He'll be happy with that.
Yeah. For next year, I know you're struggling with the lobby. If you message whoever's I think Simi's in the pits at the moment, so if you message Simi in Discord, he'll get you back in. If you're still struggling, you are still set in P2, but people are closing. Track's ramping up now. I'm just on board with Melee. I don't know if he's just about to cross the line. I don't know if you want to take us around a lap with one of our newcomers in the Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, I will do. Familiar sight, the Alfa Romeo.
Yes. Is that the one that you've been running?
It is. So it gets a good exit down onto this really, really long DRS zone pit straight. By far the fastest speed you'll hit over a lap in this place. And you'll be braking quite late in between 150 metre board down to 5th gear. Hug that inside and then get the power really early. Use all the downforce, use all the track. Use all the track on the inside. Use all the track on the outside again. And then it's flat out through this little kink of a right-hander. And then these two are really difficult, these two corners on track limits. You want to use all the exit on the left and then flip the car back in. Down into the hairpin. Kiss the apex, get the power down again. You want a good exit because this is a little bit of a straight and give quite a bit of time. He goes purple in the first sector. Now this is quite a difficult corner to get right. You want to go down to 4th, hug that inside, and then get a nice slingshot. Use all the curve on the left-hand side. This is flat, easy flat in these cars. And then back down into 4th gear. Then put the power back down. Use all of the curve on the right-hand side, and then the rest of the lap until the final corner is fully flat in these cars. Try take the path of least resistance. He's gone purple in both sectors so far. This is looking like a really good lap from Melee. Into this, he might need a little lift in here. Yeah, he does, little lift. Uses all the curves. It's going to be a really good lap. He's going to nail the final corner now. Brakes really late, down into 5th gear. Hugs the inside line. Use all the curve on the outside. No track limits for him. This could easily be into the 120s and pole position for Melee. He comes across the line. And he doesn't improve.
He doesn't. I think he did slightly. I think it was like 300ths of a second. Yeah. I was expecting a massive improvement then. He went purple in sector 1 and 2.
Yeah, he must have dropped a bit of time in the last sector, or the sectors were lying to us about it being purple. But
well, we have known that to be true in a Cody's game, haven't we? As Rosa puts himself up into P2.
Good lap.
I'm guessing that was his first flying lap.
It's his first lap that counted. Yeah, I think he's been struggling with track limits, but he got one in when it mattered. Yeah, so far Gordino's hit the checkered flag from the pit lane, as well as Finexi, Golf, Ninja, Simi and Polybalar. So it looks like them guys have all hit the line. We want to keep an eye out on, I say the likes of Cornish, otherwise Cornish is mid-track at the moment. It's just coming through sector 2. We'll see what his sector 3 time's like. He's got a car in front of him, which kind of got out of the way of the Haas. I'm guessing that was Rosa. Yeah, we're going to cross the sector 2 line now, and he's 2/10 up, so if he carries on, he might get into the top 3 here.
Yeah, he's one to look out for because, again, he does need not a title defence as such, but he needs to, like you said, lay down the law, doesn't he? That if you want to mess with me, this is, I'm a multiple world champion, this is where I want to be. Well, Simcade champion, you know what I mean.
Absolutely, and this final sector looks good, so I reckon this is going to be an improvement for Cornish. See where he is when he comes across the line.
P4,
he goes 4th.
Solid. If you there's 2 or 3 people in and around, that's the same as Rosa. So again, look at the lap difference. Yeah,
Extinct's gone second with a good lap.
Did say Extinct was one to look out for, but how close is Rosa and Cornish on pace? That is 0.003 of a second. That is bonkers.
That is very close.
Nothing to whisper of hair between them. As I believe that is now the end of qualifying, with I think Cornish and Extinct were the last 2.
Yeah, everyone's either finished or in the pits, so no one's going to set the time. This is the order for the race. This is how they'll start.
I'll run through the grid after. But yeah, actually, no, it's a good one to point out, Yuki. We are still missing Mons. So we still have an extremely talented man on the bench. I'll run you through the grid really quickly. We've got Gordino picks up the first pole position of season 8, really closely followed by Extinct, and Rosa and Cornish 0.003 of a second between them, their 3rd and 4th, with Finexi, Melee, Winther, Harrison, V2 and Lance rounding up the top 10, with Cornish, Golf Maniac, Cornish Mantis, Ninja, Rob, Ekoi, Simi, Liar, Polyblar, and Mikey rounding up the rest of the grid. So 19 on track, nearly a full grid.
Very good qualifying session. Couple of really good laps there, and quite close as well, especially between the top 2 and then 3rd all the way down to 8th. I'd say is really competitive.
Yeah, so it will definitely come down to your strategy on track with these guys. I think a lot of them did save a set of softs, so I'll have to watch out for them guys. If you haven't already, guys, don't forget to sub and give us a like. It does help out. It's nice to have Dodo back, so give him some love in the old thumbs up because, well, not like he needs it, but I need it. But yeah. Right then, we'll get on with some race strategy. So we'll see what the game brings up. I'm going to suspect it's either going to be a medium soft or a soft medium. Is usually the game's recommended now. It might put in a medium hard if you used all of your softs. I think that's the only way that it does that.
I think most people probably end up going medium soft because the alternative strategy is quite strong. However, we also know that the undercut is very strong, so someone might want to pull a bit of a gap on the softs and then try and pull even more of a bit of a gap on the undercut on the mediums and try and weather the storm when everyone tries to catch on the softs. But we'll see. Maybe the pole sitter will go for softs and try and get away. But I guess we don't have long to find out.
Hit lane's very long here, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Yeah, very long.
So, yeah, we'll have to keep an eye out for, like you said, the undercut. It definitely will work in somebody's favour. Is it just waiting for players? Don't know what's going on here. I know that we have had some issues with golf. He's just moved house. So we have had some... there we go, we're on the grid. Get away with the formation lap and see what the tyre situation is for everybody's like, and then we'll talk about it because it's going to be an interesting one. There you go. So the top 2 decided to go for the mediums, so I think they felt like they had enough of a gap to pull away from the rest of the guys, so the deficit wouldn't be that bad for them, with Rosa and Cornish hoping to catch up to them too, with Finexi, Melee, Harrison, V2, Lance, Golf, Ninja, Rob, Polly and Mikey all on the mediums, the rest of them on the soft. So you'll be looking at Rosa, Cornish, Winther and Cornish Mantis probably to be making some ground.
Yeah, and Rosa's going to be one to watch off the start because those softs will give you an extra couple of metres off the line with the extra grip compared to the mediums, so he might be able to jump Extinct and maybe even Gordino if he properly nails the start, along with Cornish maybe following him through. But then, like I said, most people are on the mediums going for that alternative strategy.
I'm not sure if it makes that much of a difference. Obviously some buff would have probably, nerdy buff would have thought about it, and there is a difference, but I think it's marginal, and it's how you manage it with the strategies and the tyres. Yes, obviously you want to be on the fastest with the lighter fuel load, but yeah. I don't know how much this game takes that into consideration. You probably know more than me on that.
It's not a massive difference, to be honest. The main thing for this track, like I've said before, will be track limits and ERS. The ERS around here is so powerful because there's so much on throttle. So if you can use that sparingly, if you've got good pace and you can use less than the guys around you, you're going to have a massive advantage. And then same with track limits. If you can not get a penalty, then you're going to pick up a lot of places come the end of the race.
Definitely, yeah. So they come around. It looks like Gordion's just starting to back them up. A couple of burnouts, and then they'll line up in P1. So yeah, Rosa directly behind Pole Sitter wants to be getting a massive jump, and Cornish is in prime position as well. If them two don't collide in the middle, then they could be in a prime position to try and weave their way through.
It's a nice wide straight, so they have more than enough space to go 4 wide. So let's see if that's what occurs.
There we go, and I'll let you talk us through the first couple of corners, and there we go, all yours.
Okay, so we're going to get the lights at some point.
Don't worry, they're coming. We'll have the race strategy one more time. There we go.
Here we go. Right. 4, 5 red lights. And they're out. And we are go. And it looks like a really good start from our pole sister as the top 4 get away pretty evenly. And I mean, Extinct might go for a little dive, but they're going to stay pretty line astern. There's a little bit of contact going on. Rosa trying to go around the outside, and then in the mid-pack there's a melee with a McLaren spinning off. That's V2 in the background with Simi and also Cornish Mantis losing places along with Rob. So there's been a little bit of a skirmish in the mid-pack there, but everyone else seems to have got through, including, and there's a safety car.
Is it a full safety car? A virtual safety car. Yeah, I think the game likes to do this now in the first lap, doesn't it? It's just chuck up a virtual safety car, which is good to see. So it looks like we did have V2 Cornish Mantis drop down, and it's saying that Phoenix is now back in the grid. Not quite sure. He keeps getting disconnected. So yeah, we'll just see how many positions people made up there. Big movers there with the Ekoi and Simi, Polyblar, Mikey. I guess we have a DNF of Golf as well in the background.
Golf's DNF'd. V2's got no front wing, so he's going to have to come in and change straight off those mediums. That's not ideal at all. You probably put on hards and go to the end, I'd imagine now.
And the one that I did say to look out for, Winther, found himself P4 as back to resume racing, and yeah, V2 still at the back of the grid, like you said, with no front wing. That did not help in his favour. That virtual safety car could have gone on for a bit longer.
It's not going great. Cornish Mantis is in a bit of trouble again, is he?
Looks like Winther's putting Rosa all over some pressure there. He's tucking up directly behind him. We're going to have a switch. It looks like Gordino and Extinct are going to fight down the main straight. That's just ERS. No DRS there. That's definitely straight line speed for Extinct, and he leads into turn 1.
Yeah, looking at the levels of ERS, though, Extinct and Winther both lower compared to Rosa and Giordino. So Giordino and Rosa playing the long game here. Definitely biding their time, not rushing things.
Yeah, Melee and Harrison in the background are jostling away as well, with Cornish just ahead of them. So again, the pack's quite compact at the moment. There's 1 second between first and 9th. Yeah, they're all within a second of each other, so there is very compact.
Yeah, big thing about this is if you can stay in the DRS of the person ahead for the first couple of laps without using much of your ERS, you'll be in a great position when that rear wing does open on the 3rd lap.
Agreed, and that'll benefit the likes of the trailing soft runners, Rosa and Cornish, that need to push up. But Winther did get past Rosa, so again the pressure is on. Winther is on a mission.
Yeah, the 2 guys on mediums really want to stay ahead of the guys on softs, because that will give them a big advantage going into the second phase of the race. Although it's not like a massive loss if they do get past, because again they've got the softer tyre stint to come.
Yeah, yellow flag to sector 3. There's been an issue. Somebody's off track.
Polly.
Is that Polly? Yeah, he's off track.
He's gone off. Yeah.
The first corner, last corner, sorry. And there's. We're hearing that there's apparently a bit of a lobby glitch, and they might have to restart, but we'll keep an eye on that. I haven't heard anything from any of the lads in chat, so yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll be okay, as the pressure is still on for Winther, who's now seems to be holding up Rosa and Cornish a little bit, but I don't know whether that's just me or they are just so compact.
I think it's more Giordino holding up Winther and backing them into Rosa and Cornish, because Extinct has dropped Giordino a bit, to be honest. Although, again, Giordino's just not using any of his ERS. He's still on 95, so he's clearly running a lower downforce setup, trying to save that. So if he does keep this up, it's going to be a great place come the end.
Yeah, just got on board with Rosa, because it's interesting that he's trying every single line around Winther to try and find an inch of space, but again, I don't think he has a straight line speed. They must be running very different setups, because he seems to be losing him in the straight.
Yeah, this is the kind of track where you can run a low or high downforce.
Oh, he goes way wide there into turn 1. Oh, a bit of a glitch. I don't know,
Yeah,
it
there's a bit of
seems to
lag
glitch
there, I
out.
think, for Rosa.
Yeah.
I saw that too. So, and he's desynced. So
So we
it's a
do seem
shame.
to be having trouble with losing people. That's going to allow Cornish to go through.
Everyone's
Unfortunately,
gonna go through.
yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's a shame for Rosa.
You see, you can put the AI back up, but then they just get too aggressive.
Yeah.
Phoenix
Luckily,
is,
he's ghosted. I think. Yeah, he's just fully ghosted. So no one's going to be troubled by him at all.
no, Phoenix is not happy because he's got. Yeah, a lot of people were looking forward to, especially some of the FQ guys, are looking forward to joining us with Ecoy picking up the first. Track limits warning, a 3 second there.
It's only taken 4 laps as well, so plenty more where they came from, I think, for the rest of this race.
Yeah, and I know Phoenix's commitment to his own social channels and FQ that he'll be pissed with that one. It's not what we need. It would be nice just to run it, but yeah. Unfortunate, sorry. Anyway, back to it. It does look like Gordino's now back with Extinct and into turn 1 takes the lead.
Yeah, he decided that the time was now to get past the aid of that DRS. Quite an easy pass, really. And let's see if he can if he's going to look to stretch the gap or just keep conservative and hold on to his tyres and his ERS. Yeah, he's definitely got the pace, I'd say, to pull out of that 1 second gap.
I wonder if it was not a bit of a ploy, but maybe to back up the likes of Rosa, knowing that it was a threat on them softs, and then
Possibly.
could push on his set of softs after. So if he was going to let Extinct go just a little bit and stick with him, but drag, back up Rosa, because there's obviously a threat, isn't he?
It does look like the soft's already beginning to scream at the guys who started on them. Winther dropping back quite quickly now from the back of Extinct. It's now almost, it's 1.7 seconds with Cornish 7/10 behind him, and Harrison putting a lot of pressure on them too. So I reckon the soft runners are going to be pitting soon because it doesn't look like they've got a lot of pace at the moment.
Yeah, and if we are doing a Constructors' Championship, the Alfa Romeo is running 5th and 6th. That's a strong outing from them too. The paired FQ drivers are all over the back of Cornish. Harrison looks like he could try and get a move into turn 1. No, tucks in. Ooh, it gets very close. That turn 1's very deceiving on how much of a sweep it is, isn't it? It's not like every other circuit that you go to is pretty much a sharp turn 1, but here it's deceiving. It's sweeping, isn't it?
What's interesting to me though is that Harrison has used up already all of his ERS. He's on below 10%, so he will be getting a lot less power than the guys ahead of him. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him come under attack from melee behind down the straights.
Yeah, maybe not driver, not team orders, but maybe, come on, let us pass, let me have a go. And then we'll work together, because if they're teammates, then best thing to do is work together, because you're going to have different pit strategies, aren't you?
If they're in the same chat, then possibly they're having that conversation, but Harrison probably won't want to do that, considering he's in the DRS of Cornish and is hounding him still.
It's further down the grid. We keep an eye on Ninja and Rob. Ninja obviously running the Ferrari. He loves that car, doesn't he? Bless him. Somebody's got to be a fan of Ferrari, aren't they? I'm joking.
Don't envy him at all.
As Mikey has made a move on Liar as well down the back of the grid.
Winther's pitting, Winther's in.
Yeah, and we've got Ecoy in as well, and I believe, was that Robin in front? No, sorry, Rob continued. So we'll watch where these two come out, because that's kind of crucial. These are going to be near the back of the grid.
It's the hard tyres going on for Winther, so he's not a fan of those softs. He's got them off early. He's going to do the rest of the race on the hard. So it's an interesting strategy. Ecoy's gone for the same. So I think starting those mediums was just the right way to go. Those softs don't seem to last on the high fuel around here.
No, 3 second penalty for V2 as well, so he's picked up another track limits with, Winther just coming out behind Simi, which probably not a bad place to be. He's dispatched him already.
Simi went a bit wide there, going through the first sector and just slipped down the inside.
I think Simi probably knows his battles and probably knows that that's not one of them, is it?
Yeah, probably not. We know how fast Winther is.
Yeah. And in the background, Ninja and Rob did switch positions. Sorry to cut you up there.
It's alright, no worries. Yeah, so we've got first pit stops already playing out. I wouldn't be surprised to see the likes of Cornish and Rosa follow them in, because they'll be leaking time now on those soft tyres compared to the undercut on the fresh rubber. So, yeah, and as I say that, Cornish does come in.
Yeah, and Harrison picks
Rosa
up a
stays out.
3-second penalty as well. So it's going to be now Melee is going to have to make the team push, is what I would say, and it does look like these two are going to go side by side.
Yeah.
He's going to come
get
outside.
it done around the outside for Melee, but it looks like Harrison's got his elbows out, and he manages to hold the position for now. Both of them used a lot of their ERS to get there, so
I don't think there's any team orders there.
Well, one of them's going to have to pit a lap later than the other one to avoid the double stack, so that's going to be quite interesting to see how that plays out.
Definitely. And then we've just seen, like we say, Cornish pit has brought him out P11 behind Winther, which is where he was on track, but now the fresh rubber is on. Let's hope we can make some ground. And then we do have Rosa, who stayed out on them softs. He's P5.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he's holding out for the mediums and possibly a safety car. Although I don't really see that there's a massive chance of a safety car, as I've just got on board with Rosa and he's absolutely squirming all over the place. He's got no grip whatsoever now, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him in, if not this lap, then latest next lap.
Yeah, these two Alfa Romeos are still battling out all the way around the track. They've pretty much been 2-3 tenths. As there you go, the lead driver does jump into the pits, and that releases Melee.
Yeah, I think Melee has a little bit more pace, so I think he'll be thankful of a bit of clear air, but then Harrison's going to get those fresh, soft tyres if he elects for them, and he's going to get a really powerful undercut.
Yeah, and we're just seeing in the pits Rosa, so that's freed Lance to go through as well.
Yeah, doesn't surprise me at all. Rosa, he was struggling a lot on those tyres. He's gone to the mediums, with Harrison onto the hards.
11 laps, is that doable? I mean, they've done 9 so far. He's got yellow flags in sector 2. Is that Liar again around?
I'm not sure.
It was, whoever that is next to an Aston Martin. So yes, it is a Liar. It's next to 2 Aston Martins.
I think that, yeah, the mediums will go that long. I think, yeah, Rosa's made a good choice.
Hard tyres are more of a better option than softs. I think for outright pace, the softs is where you want to be if you can get them to last half of the Grand Prix like the most of them have. Like you look at Rosa, it's just a 9 laps as Rob picks up a 3-second penalty. Then the mediums should be a breeze if he's managed to get that much pace out of a set of softs for that long. But it was borderline at the end, like you're saying. You're on board with him, and it's borderline, isn't it?
It is. I think for the people who are on mediums now, they need to make the tyres go to at least lap 12 before coming in for softs. Because obviously they'll have less tyre wear, because of lower fuel, so they'll be able to make the softs go for 8 laps.
Melee on the hards. Yeah, so he's going for the more conservative field. Can he get out ahead of Harrison, because he's the person that he was battling with? I don't think he will. It might be very close, actually.
I think that undercut's just too powerful, and Harrison's going to get him.
Oh, I don't know.
Although he's
it could be a tight line. Yeah, I think he just had to concede, didn't they, the both of them? Again, so line astern for the 2 Alfa Romeo boys.
But now Melee with that lap fresher tyres, which doesn't sound like a lot, but in this game it is quite a lot, and you gain at least a couple of tenths per lap, even just from 1 lap fresher tyres.
Yeah, I'm just going to read you this statement. There's two statements in the chat, and I feel that one of them hurts. So the one question is, AJ, why don't you race in the series? So I will be racing. I'll be racing next week with whatever track. But then Yuki, I feel this is a bold comment, okay? Because AJ can't drive.
Oh wow, that's bold coming from someone who's never driven in Simcade.
Yeah, no, but I can drive. You've seen me on track, and I'm not a slouch. I'm not the best, but I'm not a slouch.
No, I'd say
I've
you're pretty decent.
competed in leagues. I've competed in championships. I'm not a slouch, but I don't get enough time to practice to be committed anymore. Back when I was doing the inters and stuff like that, you talk to an F2 champion here, in-service F2 champion, because that is apparently such a thing. I had a lot of time to practice, and I had a lot of time to be committed to it, but now I don't. Generally don't. So that's probably why I'm nowhere near where I want to be and where I should be.
And plus, your commentary skills are just way too valuable to miss out on. So,
well, you see, I got poached. This is how I've been poached to do commentary. I don't know if you know this, that somebody came into chat and into the league and actually liked what I was doing. Apparently, some crazy man, and then poached me. So that worked out for me, just like it worked out for you being here.
Yeah, exactly. World works in mysterious ways. You don't know how you're going to get the next opportunity, do you?
If I end up on Sky Sports, then I'll be one happy
alongside
man.
Crofty.
Oh, could you imagine? No, I actually I made a bit of a fake scandal about Crofty, so I'm probably not getting up on Sky Sports because that'll just
Crofty
surface.
actually hates you now.
Yeah, no, that'll just surface in 5 years' time, and I'll be made to apologise live on air. So I don't want that. So yeah, no, I'm kidding.
Live on Sky Sports.
Yeah.
AJ apologises to Crofty.
Could you imagine? Anyway, as Gordino and Extinct pit, as well as Ninja, so the top two in, and are we going to see Winther? I think we are.
Yeah, that undercut, as you can see, is just so powerful. Even Cornish
splitting them.
Yeah, that, as you can see, I mean, the undercut on this game is just so powerful, as you can see there. And but now with those fresh softs, I don't think it's going to be long before Giordino retakes the lead, along with Extinct in second.
Yep, definitely. AJ to replace Crofty. I don't think I could ever replace. So Yuki can drive. He's been doing courses apparently. Anyway, back to it. That's less talking about us and more talking about the racing. Extinct is all over the back of Cornish, like you're saying. Them softs, it'd be pretty much a breeze by. And what we've noticed with this game compared to the last one, tyres has been important to every other game, but in last year's game it was pretty much the same strategy, just split. But this 35% does come up with some problems, doesn't it? Because if you use all your softs in qualifying, you are going to have to make some tough decisions, which is the likes of Cornish has had to make. Are we going to see a move up the inside from Extinct? No, I think we are going to see a drag race down the main straight though, because it looks like...
we're going to see a move for the lead here. And that's an easy move for Giordino. He's already well clear before we even get to the corner, and Extinct's going to do the exact same on Cornish. So it was always going to happen on those new softs, like you were saying. The tyres are very important in this game, and it's nice to see variation in strategy now, rather than every race just being a hard medium.
Can we get a shout out for Ninja for doing a complete Ferrari and getting a speeding in the pit lane penalty? Yes, there you go. Ninja, you are the one and only true fanboy of Ferrari. You even do strategies and pit lane penalties just like Ferrari.
I'm surprised you haven't put Inters on. That would be like the gold Ferrari strategy.
Yeah, the one that will always never work.
Yes.
Anyway, Extinct has managed to get past Winther whilst we were chatting along there. So again, them soft tyre boys are off. 1.5 seconds for Extinct to catch up to Gordino now. The race is on.
Yeah, and crucially, that allowed Giordino to pull out of that crucial 1 second window of DRS away from Extinct. So I wouldn't be surprised now if we see him put a bit of daylight in between himself and Extinct, and that's basically the race, unless he makes a mistake, I think, because he's looked pretty unbeatable all day.
Definitely. So, like you say, it's the race for second. The race for third and fourth and below now, but the penalties are starting to rack up.
Yeah, Winther's got one now, which is going to be big. All Cornish now has to do is hold on to the back of him by less than 3 seconds and get a podium.
Yeah, we need to watch out for Rosa to try and creep back up as well. He's been in and around the 2-second mark with Harrison, so here you go, 3-second penalties for Ecoy and Cine. This track definitely is testing out the guys as we've got V2s left in session. There's a lot of dropouts.
Yeah, it's not the greatest lobby today, but there's nothing we can do about it really. Unfortunately, it's just EA and Codemasters being them, I guess.
Yeah. It is. We had an issue with GT7 yesterday. We couldn't get extinct in the lobby, so I just think it's just one of those at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, you can't really predict. It's just the one of the main drawbacks of online racing is you never know when it's going to work or not.
Yep. Lap 14 of 20, nearly hitting the 3/4 mark of the Grand Prix, and things are looking pretty smooth for the top two.
Yeah, it's been a good day for both of them. I mean, Sync's not letting Giordino off easy here. He's staying within that 2 seconds. It's only about a tenth a lap slower, I think. And the real battle here is Cornish, who's looking around the outside at Winther there.
Do you know, I'm just on board with these two.
They're very close, and then the two Alfa Romeo's going side by side through turn 1, and Harrison's going to try and retake the place. But I think Melee's finally got him on track.
Yep. And I think, again, that does benefit them. I don't think they need to be squabbling because of the penalty that Harrison picks up. I'm not saying that it should be a negative on Harrison, but for an effort for Melee, yeah. But then if they're just doing it for themselves, then definitely fight all the way. But they want to be catching up to these two to put a bit of pressure on them, on Cornish and Winther, really. Again, it's just, marking the ground, isn't it? You don't want to be known as the guy that just let it slip. Yellow flag to sector 2. Seems to be
markers,
yeah,
possibly letting people through, but yeah. Also, the more they fight, the more that's going to invite Rosa on those medium tyres to catch up.
It's caught up half a second.
Party. Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody was aggressive. Yeah.
Has a 3-second penalty now.
Oh, that does not help.
So that really does nail Giordino down for the win, I would say.
I don't really think team orders are really in effect at all, Yuki. I think it's just, it made sense to try and release one of them, but again, I don't think Harrison's going to let this one go, as he's going up the inside into turn 1 and sweeps in the lead, and then there's Cornish and Winther. There's been a move there as well.
Yeah, Cornish has finally got Winther. I'm not surprised with the use of DRS. They're both on similar levels of ERS as well, so yeah. But again, I mean, Cornish doesn't really need to fight it. He just needs to make sure he doesn't get a penalty now to the end, and he'll pick up that P3.
Yeah, and the last thing that these two want to be doing is taking each other out, because then that's going to, like say, invite more behind in, and you don't want to be missing out on a podium, especially, like I said, this early on in the season.
Yep, and also Winther, unfortunately, at the moment, as it stands, will drop behind at least Melee and possibly Rosa, depending on what the gap is at the end of the race. I think it's just about 3 seconds between Winther and Rosa, so he might drop down as far as 6th.
Yeah,
because of that penalty, which is a shame.
Yeah, that is a shame, really. So it looks like Rosa is Lance is best of the rest in P8, as Winther and Cornish side by side as V2 is joined back in.
Yeah, here we're going to go. Winther with the DRS wide open alongside and now ahead of Cornish, so I don't think this battle is going to end anytime soon, and Malay's doing the exact same thing on Harrison.
That DRS is very powerful down the main straight, as long as you've got the ERS to back it up, because if you're just running the same straight line speed, I don't think there's that much of an advantage without any ERS assistant, really, is there?
The DRS is extremely powerful on this game just in general, so yeah, I'm not surprised we're seeing a lot of these DRS passes down the main straight.
Yeah. And well, we'll pick that back up again, because I'm sure that they'll be coming back. Just looking up behind as well, we're going on board with Polly, who is just gone past Liar.
Yeah,
as I went on board, they got. Oh, okay, they are side by side and still battling as they've gone into turn 2 and 3. So they have got doing a whole lap side by side.
Yeah, fighting over 15th like it's for the race win, but it's still very entertaining. And I'm sure Polly will love the fact he's got that move done, although he has got a penalty still, so he will lose that come the end of the race, unless he can pull out 3 seconds.
And yeah, Harry's got a pass back. Alex, I see. Oh no, yeah. So them two have been switching positions. Just a quick note as well. Rosa is definitely closing the gap on Harrison. The top, well, from 3rd down to 7th are all within, like you can see them all on the main straight.
Yeah, they've made a whole DRS train there from 3rd down to 7th. So Harrison and Winther are unfortunately going to drop to the back of this pack at the moment.
Yep, 2 laps to go.
In the end. Sorry.
Okay, and in the background as well, Mantis did get past Ninja. So Mantis on a bit of a charge as Liar picks up a 3-second penalty. That's he already had. Did he already have one? No, I think he was clear.
No, he was
so
clear.
Now
but
he is matched. Polly's. So it's unfortunate.
Looks like Harrison's struggling to keep on the back of Melee. He's dropped to 7/10. He was lower than a second actually. He was further behind than a second. He's managed to pull 3/10 back in that middle sector. He's got to watch that because if he drops out of that DRS, then Rosa's going to go straight by. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and Winther's backing up everybody into each other now with, like I said, Rosa. It's a bit of a DRS train going on here, so it is going to come down to the last 2 laps as Cornish picks up a 3-second penalty.
Oh, that's massive because that means he's going to have to do Winther on track. Because that means as it stands, Malay is going to pick up that P3 with Rosa in P4.
Yeah, that's not what he needed. That.
Right, here he goes. Here he goes. Cornish on Winther. He's going to try it round the outside. And to be honest, if I was Winther, I'd let him go because he's going to have DRS on the last lap. And Cornish does get past.
Well, we'll see how this one unfolds, but they're not giving each other an inch of track either side of the rubber between them. But again, Cornish managing to fend off Winther with Melee. All Melee really has to do, and Rosa, just sit there. Don't make any silly mistakes. Don't go diving thinking that you need to. You just sit there and wait. You've got a P3 in the bag.
Yeah, they've done a really good job not getting a penalty, and I did say, a lot of these positions are going to be sorted by penalties, and the guys who have kept themselves clean are going to profit now at the end.
Yeah, and I think that is a testament to the effort that these guys are putting in when it comes to how close the gaps are now. Before we had we had 2 or 3 people that had run away with it, and now we've got this a gaggle of cars that are all within a second of each other.
Right, so we're going to see Winther with DRS tucked in the slipstream of Cornish, and Cornish going very defensive to the inside. But I think Winther's going to have it done with the DRS open. He is. So I think, to be honest, Cornish went a lap too early with that one, and he's got no ERS to attack with on the final lap. So I think a little bit of a mistake there from Cornish, not really using his head particularly on that penultimate lap, and it looks like Winther is going to end up finishing on track unless Cornish can do anything about it.
Yeah, don't forget to get your driver of the day votes in, guys. Obviously, we'll go off the game. Driver of the day as well. But yeah, this is still the battle for 3rd. Melee looks like he's dropped off slightly. I think he put on mounted a bit of a charge and then has dropped off, but still in prime position for that P3. As we will pick up the leader in the next couple of laps, who is about 6.5 seconds clear of Extinct, coming around the last corner one last time down the extremely long straight at Qatar, using all of his ERS, and crosses the line, which is too far down the pit lane, to take the win here at Qatar, closely followed, but unfortunately with a penalty, by Extinct. And then we'll jump back to the battle for 3rd as they're weaving down the pit lane.
Here goes Cornish.
Like Cornish is still going to get it. Oh, I don't know.
Oh,
I think
it's by the smallest of margins, by 0.02 seconds.
Wow.
Cornish does take Winther on the line, and actually they pulled out enough of a gap at the end to keep that P3.
How did they manage to pull out 3 seconds?
Malay must have just really dropped off and held everyone behind him. Harrison did drop back, but yeah, they pulled the gap. So Cornish does keep the P3 after all.
Wow,
Good
congrats.
effort by them
Congrats
too.
there. Yeah, and that must have been the tightest line going down the straight, as we're just watching Ninja and Rob cross the line as well for 11th and 12th. And then V2, we can't see in the distance because he's not even down the last couple of corners yet. So a bit back was V2 there. So we've got a drive of the day, a shout for Melee. I think that's actually going to be overturned, really. I think Cornish definitely towards the end used his head, which you thought that he didn't, and I thought that he didn't, but in the end, that straight is so long, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I mean, it worked out from the end, so, fair play. I mean, my drive of the day, I think it's got to be Giordino. I think he's just, he used his head at the start of the race, not using his ERS. He made the moves when he had to. He was patient, didn't make any mistakes. He weathered the storm of Extinct in the first stint, and then when he was getting through the back markers on the hards, he did it efficiently, pulled that gap to Extinct, and then never looked back. So just a flawless drive. So he's my driver of the day today.
I think we're going to have to take your driver of the day because, you're an honorary member of Simcade, so your vote counts most there. Dodo. I'll just run you through the grid then. Taking the first win of the season is Gordino, but closely followed by Extinct. Them two did battle it out, and then battle for third was won by Cornish, close followed by Winther, did pick up a penalty earlier on with Melee. Just dropping back, Rosa, Lance, Harrison, Cornish Mantis and Ekoi ran up the top 10 with Ninja, Rob, V2, Simi, Polyblart, Liar, Mikey, Finexu didn't actually participate due to internet issues and golf as well, DNF'd earlier on. So that is the grid, and we will jump into Discord.
We will indeed.
And let's get talking some podium sitters. How about
that? Yeah.
First time. Let's see if I can find it. Here we go. Let's jump down. Do we have a podium channel now?
Yeah, we do. It's just beneath commentary.
Oh yeah, we do. Right, I'll move down there and then wait for you to move down. Are you on PC now?
I'm on PC now, so you don't have to worry about it.
This is some scary stuff now, isn't it? It's going to get itself a PC. Let's see if we can get top 3 in the chat. Let's have a look. I know we'll get one of them. Cornish will be in here momentarily because he knows the drill around here, doesn't he? As we wait.
For
the top 3. All I can say is, to be fair, that was it looked straightforward, but like I said, the penalties did mount up and did play a crucial part in the standing. Obviously, Cornish just managing to fend off the attack from Melee, which again, impressive. Some people complain of it being a boring race. I mean, the mid to lower pack did seem to there was a bit of field spread, which, yeah, we knew it was going to happen, didn't we? In some places, but the top boys all stayed very close together. So we're still waiting for people. We'll give it another minute, and if we don't hear from anybody, then we'll just interview ourselves on our performance. How about that? Oh, there we go. We've got one. The usual suspect. And Extinct. We'll wait for Gordino to see if he turns up. There we go. Everybody came. Welcome, everybody. P1, first of the season, Gordino. All I can say is that was an absolute dominant performance from qualifying all the way through the race. You had a bit of a hiccup with Extinct at the beginning. Was that just time management and race management, or was it all under control, or was it a panic?
I mean, I don't want to take away anything from Extinct. He's pretty fast. We had a good race. But I was kind of trying to save my ERS and stuff. But good race from Extinct. He was pretty quick. It's just unfortunate that he got stuck behind some traffic.
After the pit stop, yeah, you're correct.
Yeah.
They did come out with a bit of traffic, which, again, so the commanding race that you had, was it a bit of relief when you saw that Extinct got the penalty?
I mean, yeah, kinda, because I was pushing to get 3 seconds just in case I got a penalty. So when I saw that, I kind of backed off a bit.
Yeah, I mean, me and Dodo have been saying on numerous occasions that this track is an absolute nightmare for track limits. Were you close to
Yeah,
getting a penalty?
yeah, I got a few warnings as well, so I was lucky to not get one. Yeah.
Well, congratulations, Dodo. Have you got anything for Gordino?
No questions. Just congrats on the great performance. Dominant, no mistakes. So couldn't have done it by myself.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Good race to everyone as well.
Extinct again after the back end of season 7. You're coming in even stronger in season 8. That was a performance. Are you kicking yourself about the penalty? Was that really the cork that annoyed you, or what?
The penalty, of course, ruined it, but being stuck behind Cornish and Winter, that took behind both of them, where Cardina got ahead of Cornish, and I only had to overtake one car. I had to overtake both of them to get past. So I used up a lot of ERS to try and get past them where I least expected it. I got past Cornish on the straight, and then Winter went wide, and they just took the opportunity and went. But Cardina was too far for me to like really get into DRS range of him after that. So then I was just trying all race, pushing hard, and then I got a penalty. Then I was like, at this point, there's no use of pushing, so I just backed off. And fuel was pretty marginal at the end because I was like, on the last lap I was minus, so just managing throughout the entire race. So luckily got through with the fuel also.
And obviously you're coming back with a bit of a vengeance this season. You are definitely going to be putting the fight to Gordino this season, because I mean, you want that championship, right?
I mean, obviously last season I didn't win any race until the last race in Brazil, where I probably had one of my best races in Simcade, where I won by like 15 seconds, led every lap with pole position. So I was hoping to carry that pace into the round one, but I got held up in quali 2 times by the same Aston Martin, and at the end I was just under pressure and just made a few mistakes, and then it was close to get pole, but wasn't close enough. But in the race, Gordino was just miles ahead of me because I just got ahead of him in the first part, and then he was just quicker. So hopefully I can keep up with him the next few races.
And well, all I can say is congratulations on P2, and it's nice to see the fact that you're carrying that momentum on into season 8, which is great. It's nice to see. So congratulations.
Thanks.
Dodo, I'll let you interview your old nemesis Cornish, because I think that's just the most fitting thing to do, really.
All right. So Cornish, decent race for you there. It was really close at the end with all the penalties working out, and you managing to actually keep that P3. So I just want to know what that few laps was like. What what you went through, thinking you're maybe going to lose it with the penalties, and then managing to pull the gap and having that battle with Winther right down to the line.
It was emotional, mate. It was emotional. I was sweating. I kind of cheated tonight. I was on pad because I pulled something in between my shoulder blades. Not last night, the night before, and I can't drive on the rig tonight. But yeah, kind of cheated. I was on pad tonight, so it's a bit of a sham podium. But I'm well happy to be back. With P1 and P2, just too fast. Gordino and Extinct just too quick today, man. I mean, on that second stint, I wanted to avoid not getting a penalty, and I bottled that as well, which I'm gutted about. But yeah, it just feels backwards driving on a pad again, because I've been racing on the rig for 4 months. Still not up to pace on the rig, but I'm loving it, man. Driving with a smile on my face, and hopefully I can jump in the podium after racing on the rig. That's the dream, you know.
Absolutely, I'm sure it's only a matter of time because we all know how good you are. So, congrats on the
Put the
podium.
hours in, mate. Thank you, buddy.
And,
Cheers. Always a pleasure.
Well done on the photo finish at the end there.
Oh yeah, it was cracking. It was really, really good race with Wimpton right until the last lap, man. Cracking battle.
Yeah. Congrats.
Cheers, guys. Legends.
Yeah, congrats. Well, I hope to see you all here back next week because it's always a pleasure to talk to you three. So thanks very much.
Happy days. Catch you next week, boys.
See you soon.
Thank you. Good race. Bye.
Hello.
Thank you.
Cornish getting his trademark shalom in there. He does like it. Well, all I can say is that was what everybody's classing as a bit of a meh race. But I think actually that was really interesting for the battle for third, definitely interesting. Melee ran out of fuel. That's why. Just found out in chat that Melee ran out of fuel.
Okay. That'll explain it then.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's probably why, and he probably would have dragged the people behind him back as well because they didn't want to cause issue. So, there you go. That answers the reason why they dropped so much question at the end of the race. Anyway, it's been an absolute pleasure, Dodo. It's absolutely fantastic to have you back in the commentary box. I know you're not going to be back with us permanently, but it is just such a pleasure to have you in with us. It's really nice. So thank you very much.
Thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure to commentate with you, and what a good race to make a return. And I'll hopefully, if PSGL hasn't started up again next week, I'll be around to possibly do it again.
Well, I'm not going to hold my breath, but I do hope so. So that would be very nice to have you back for another week. Then all I can say is everybody, thanks for watching, and thanks to all the drives that we've had this week. That does bring the end of our weekly racing. However, don't forget Sunday 4 p.m. starts our ACC autumn event. We're at Kalami this week, so don't forget to check that. It's 4 p.m. British Summer Time, and then we're back to another round of racing next week, where the tracks have not been decided because we're on our new we pick, you decide. So don't forget, between Friday and Sunday, 5 p.m. and 5 p.m. British Summer Time, that you can vote for the next 3 tracks. Don't forget to check out all of our socials. If you don't know where they are, then go check out the website, and if you haven't already, come and join in the community Discord, because we have lots going on in the background, not just racing, so do come and check that out. Right, well then, I think it's time for us to sign off. Thank you very much, Dodo, and I do hope that you are back next with us next week, and to everybody else around Simcade. We'll see you all very soon.